Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I'm here to talk about and review Marvel's Spider-Man. This is a 2018 video game that is exclusive for PlayStation 4. I know people are pissed who have Xbox One. They're like, where's my Spider-Man? They're like J. Jonah Jameson. Look, I understand it, but I have a PS4, so I don't really care. I want to get out of the way how I felt about it, because I've played many a Spider-Man games. I own many a Spider-Man games, so this isn't something new for me. But I will say this might be the best Spider-Man game that I've played. It might be. There's so many great things about this. I had so much fun with it. I will say that just being Spider-Man, swinging through New York City, is always my favorite part of these games. They almost all pretty much have that, but this one, it's heightened at such a different level. There's so much more you can do. There's so much more detail put into the city, the graphics. Times Square looks amazing. I love free roaming. In fact, the first day or two, I wasn't quick to play the main story. I was just going around collecting as many backpacks and as many things that I could to unlock stuff. Speaking of unlocking stuff, you get to unlock various suits throughout Spider-Man's canon, so many different versions of his suit. They have this brand new suit that's for this game with, as you see, the white spider in the middle. I don't really care for that. It's not horrible. In fact, it's not even a whole lot different. It's just the only thing different is the big white symbol. But I never chose to play that. I stuck to the classic or the Stark costume, because not only was it from Spider-Man Homecoming, but I think it just looked the best. It looked cool. I love seeing all the cutscenes in the traditional Spider-Man costume. Now, there were so many different ones that you unlocked, like even the Ben Reilly one or the 2049 one, which is very, very unique. And you even had the Infinity War suit, the Iron Spider suit that I unlocked because I pre-ordered this. But I was very upset that there's no black symbiote suit. What the fuck? Seriously, that's possibly my favorite Spider-Man costume out of all of them. And as I was going along in the game and unlocking one, I was just saying, well, eventually we're going to get to a black symbiote suit, right? No! We never did! So I was disappointed by that. They had so many weird ones. They even had like a punk rock Spider-Man suit. And I said, you're going to have that, but not the black suit? They had black suits, just not the symbiote one. Also, Mary Jane Watson, I loved her involvement in the story. I loved how maybe they're going through some relationship issues, but she's still there. She wants to be involved. She wants to be his crime-fighting partner. And she's brash. She's willing to get down and dirty in the crime scene or whatever she has to do. Mr. Negative is kind of sort of the main villain. He takes up a big chunk of this story, of this plot, and I didn't know much about this villain. In fact, I don't even know if he's from the comics. He might be. But I still found him interesting. I did, and his abilities, like, it was refreshing to see Spider-Man face up against a villain that was different, that was somebody that I wasn't too familiar with. Scorpion, I want to mention this, because this felt like, because some people are saying this reminds them, like, this is the Spider-Man version of an Arkham game, right, from Batman. And I can see why they're saying that, but especially because you get that Scorpion side mission where he stings you, he poisons you, and it's almost like going through a Scarecrow gas trippy scene of you're swinging through the city, but you're all disoriented, and then you go through these various realms of weirdness, and it reminded me of the Scarecrow. There's various side missions, so if you don't feel like doing the main mission, like I would variously just go around and do my favorite side mission was the Black Cat one. Now I was hoping it would lead to maybe an interaction with her, even a fight or something, but I know she has a DLC story where you get to play as her, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Before I go forward, though, I do recommend this game a lot. I did enjoy it. I did have a lot of fun. But I have to talk spoilers here. Aunt May dies! I can't believe it. This is one of the craziest endings. Yes, I'm skipping to the very, very end, one of the last things you see, because at some point, Doc Ock, yes, Dr. Octopus, and he releases a virus in Times Square and gets a bunch of people in New York sick, and Aunt May is one of them, and she gets very, very sick. The whole end of the game is you trying to get the anti-serum to save her, but once you get it, it's too late, and they give you a choice. Well, you don't get to actually choose. But Spider-Man does have to say, hey, do I want to use it just to save her and her alone? Or should I use it to let the doctor create a vaccine and save everyone else, but it's not enough time to save her? So, of course, Spider-Man makes the hard decision to do that. And I get it. As a Spider-Man character, it makes sense for him to make the hard decision and make yet another sacrifice. But I hated seeing Aunt May dead in the hospital bed with Spider-Man crying over her, cut to a funeral scene, and the tombstone says May Parker next to Ben Parker. Sure, maybe it's poetic that she's finally with Uncle Ben, but it did not feel right. It felt wrong. But yes, Miles Morales in this game is so cool. I love, you get his backstory basically, because Spider-Man gets to work with his father, who's a cop, and that was very cool, especially once you realize who the guy is. And then you get the tragic of his death, and then Miles Morales coming full effect. I liked how he had his own levels and missions as well, sneaking into places. I think if there is a sequel to this, and maybe there will be, I don't know, but if there is a sequel to this, having Miles be another Spider-Man makes sense. Having him go off and do his own missions as Spider-Man. He does get bit by a spider at some point in this game. And the Sinister Six! That was very cool. It was something I wasn't really thinking of or expecting. You already do have all of these villains, various villains, so of course you get to a point where they all team up. Doc Ock is at the head of it, and it made sense. Everyone that they had, Scorpion, Rhino, Vulture, even Mr. Negative, all of these characters to face Spider-Man. It was tough. Don't get me wrong. It was hard. There was some points where I was like, holy shit, I gotta fight like two of these villains at the same damn time. Especially ones like Electro and Rhino were just a pain in the ass. But I got it done. And Doc Ock, I loved his motivation. If there was a Sinister Six movie, this would have to be the script. This would have to be the plot, where Doc Ock has this past in history with Norman Osborn. They used to be partners and scientists, but Norman screwed him over, stole his ideas, became rich and built his empire, and Octavius just has this little lab, and he can't really get ahead, and he resents him and hates him and hates him. Norman Osborn, also, you find out that Harry had cancer, and he's in a lab, and he's sick, and they're trying to look for a cure for him. But was that the symbiote that was wrapped around him and touches the glass? I still enjoyed this game. Look, I have a little maybe nitpicky issues with some plot points and story points, more so Aunt May dying I'm still trying to get over. But everything else, I enjoyed. Everything else I had fun with. Just J. Jonah Jameson having that podcast was hilarious. So guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of Marvel's Spider-Man, the video game. Do you like it as well? Is it your favorite Spider-Man game? What do you want to see next if there's a sequel? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!